Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh.
Hi everyone, Nicole Moore here with Level Up Loud Branding Company. Welcome to another Front Row Friday. We are super excited to have Leah Andreoni with us from Rising Sun Therapy. Leah, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Me too. I can't wait to share everything about Rising Sun Therapy and all the great things you're doing for the community. So, I would love to hear a
Yeah.
little bit more of an introduction about your business, about everything you've been doing, and share that with our listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started Rising Sun Therapy in 2022, and I started it as a group practice. So it was me and a colleague that left another group practice, and we kind of started on our own. And even with that, I wanted to also have this wellness component to it. So I was able to start the therapy side. I say, Rising Sun Therapy has two pillars. The
Mhm.
therapy side, where we do individual therapy for teens ages 13 to 17,
Okay.
and then women 18 and older.
Mhm.
So there we take a few insurances and we're able to provide the individual therapy to our clients.
That's great.
And then on the wellness side, the wellness pillar is where I bring in other providers such as art therapy, music therapy, yoga, movement, all the kind of complementary
Mhm.
services that I would say
Yeah.
that is necessary for your mental health and your physical health, right?
Yes.
Talk therapy can't help with everything. I know that. We know that. So
Yes.
being able to have both pillars at Rising Sun, it was really the backbone, and connection is really the foundation of why we do everything. And bringing in the different providers allow us to collaborate
That's great.
to have that full 360 community around our clients, around the providers, to have that support that I know women are looking for. So
Yes.
we can provide that space where people can come, experience, and they don't have to have, these high expectations on themselves.
Right.
They can just come and be and get what they need from our space and their time there.
Well, I love that. I mean, it's so hard, to take the first step into getting the
Yeah.
support for yourself. So having a space that feels safe and comfortable and just fully supported is just so important. So that's amazing what you're doing for the
Yeah.
community. And it's thriving. So it's wonderful to see that.
Thank you.
Of
Thank you
course.
so much.
So let's dive a little bit deeper if you don't mind. Let's jump into the why of you
Yeah.
starting the company, deeper dive into your story, and
Mhm.
we'd love to hear more about you, the business, the woman behind the business.
Yes, absolutely. So when in all of my experience, being a therapist, I've always worked within the families, with the kids. And when I was working at the group practice and seeing all the moms, the women, not have that community. So when I would ask them, what does your support system look like? And they would say, well, my family's over here. I haven't really made any great friends yet. It would just break my heart because I
Yeah.
know how necessary it is for us, especially new moms, to be able to have that community, to reach to that community, and just have someone where they
Yes.
can text and be like, you know what, to be honest, I'm not loving this. So, because when I had my son, I did have that community, and
Mhm.
I know how much I relied on them,
Yes.
right? For all that, for just play dates and just venting about all this stuff
Yeah.
and really knowing that you're not alone
Yeah.
in this. You have your partners, you have some support, but to have the other moms around you, it's
Oh, yeah.
so special and so different. So being able to hear from other moms saying that they didn't have it, I'm a responder. If someone
Yeah.
tells me what they need, I will do everything
Yeah.
in my power to
Exactly.
get them what they
Yes.
need. So when I opened my own practice, I was like, you know what? I need this space to be for the women, to be for the moms.
Yes.
Um, and also with the crisis and all, teen mental health right now is like, we also need the space for
Absolutely.
them, because they're in, the family systems, but being able to help the moms, support their
Oh,
teens and
yeah.
support their kids, right? It's what they're living for at that moment,
Absolutely. It's so hard
right?
to navigate all of the issues that are going on now in the world with mental health. And so having that support at Rising Sun Therapy
Mhm.
is just an amazing outlet for everyone. And I love how it's all about based on connections because
Yes.
obviously after COVID and how we all were
Mhm.
connecting virtually, it's just so nice to have a place now where they can come see you, they can come talk with you and the other therapists and the groups and the different events that you have and feel that connection
Mhm.
again. It's just so,
Yeah.
so important. So that's amazing.
So being able to take an hour, our art workshops, 2 hours, take that time to say, this is for me.
Right,
I'm going to do this, right? It's hard to prioritize ourselves, but being able to come in a space where that's all you need to do, all you're expected to do is just be. It can feel so supportive, so healing, and to do it with other women
right.
that are doing the same thing,
Yeah.
right?
You don't feel so
Yes.
alone. And be,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, just be. I mean, that's so, just such a reward for anyone to have a space
Yeah.
like that. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that. I mean, again, I
Yeah.
cannot stress how important it is for us as women and even for teens to have a special space that they can be themselves and navigate through all their, mental struggles that they go to through friends, family things. So it's amazing that
Mm.
you guys have that space. I love it. So let's switch over a little bit to being the entrepreneur side of things. So if you can share a couple of the struggles that maybe you went through with
Hmm.
the business and how you overcame them to try to help some other
Yeah.
entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. I definitely am not I would say, entrepreneur type, if there is a type, which the more I do this, I don't think there really is.
No, yeah,
But going into this, you know, owning my own business was not always something that was kind of on my bucket list. I just figured, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Why would I do this? Luckily, my husband builds businesses and he is, the backbone of the business of Rising Sun. So I did have that support, and I know so many people don't,
yes,
but there is so much support out there.
yes,
But also within entrepreneurship, it's also the emotional roller coaster that we go through
yep,
when things are going great and then things are not going great. Or something happens that you had no idea was going to come around the corner and it kind of puts you in a
yes,
tailspin. I had a few things that put me in a tailspin, and I had a real hard time, kind of going back up the roller coaster,
right,
right? So what I had to do was really rely on the community that I built,
yeah,
right? Because I needed other people to tell me, you're not alone. This happened to us. This is how we got through it. You will get through this. This is only, one piece of it. This
right.
is only 1 month, 1 year. So it's really understanding that it goes in a roller coaster,
Mhm.
because when you can expect it, it makes it a little bit easier to manage.
It
All
does.
the stuff that comes out, it's like working on your deepest insecurities when you're
Oh,
an
yes,
entrepreneur,
yes,
right? And it's saying, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was still struggling with this, but it's coming out in this part of me now,
right.
right? So it's necessary. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a luxury. It's necessary to have that
Absolutely.
support. So you can have the people hold space for
And
you.
that's so
Right.
important. I don't think a lot of people realize that. It's a great point to make because when you jump into the world of entrepreneurship, you're just excited and passionate and
Yes.
I just want to do this
Yes.
thing, but you don't realize how much does go behind it. You said when things come maybe crashing down or they're not, going the way you expect it to go, if you don't
Hmm.
have that support, it is
Yeah.
very lonely. It's very challenging. It's very, I just want to give up. I can't do this. But I mean, like you said,
Hmm.
I can't stress enough too how much again, meeting you and the networking groups and meeting all these amazing women who are on the same journey, but we're all helping each
Hmm.
other stay
Yep.
confident and build us back up when we're going through those down days because they will come and go. Like you
Yep.
said, you've built an entire business about supporting people in the community. And it's great to
Yeah.
see now how your business is giving back not only to the community, but now you have that community
Hmm.
already put in place. So it's kind
Yeah.
of an amazing business you've built because it's not only great for others, but you realize it's a place for you too.
Absolutely. Yeah, I joined the art workshop that we have every month because I know I want art therapy and I want, that community. And it's great because, that's our longest running workshop and being able to go each month,
Yes,
knowing I'm going to see the women that have been there for the last 2 years, right? It becomes a really comfortable, safe space
that's amazing.
when you
It's
have
it's
that.
so needed. Moving on, would you like to share some of your celebrations from the past year? Anything new that's happening in the businesses? Some things that you'd like people to know in the community?
Sure. And on
Yeah.
April 12th, it's a Sunday, we are celebrating our 4-year anniversary. So we are super
Yay,
excited. We're going to have,
congratulations.
thank you. So we're going to have an open house. So the team's going
Okay.
to be there, and then various collaborators are going to be there where we're offering 2 art sessions, movement, learning a little bit of education with some providers that come in. So it's going to be a
Mhm.
little taste of what we do throughout the
I love
year,
that.
because
Yeah,
sometimes it can be really intimidating to come to a session, to come to therapy or a
sure.
workshop without even meeting the provider. So this way you can kind of see us in a more casual atmosphere. You know what to expect when you would come to a
Yeah,
therapy session, maybe a workshop. I'm doing a
great.
community event in May, another open house with a collaborator, with another therapist, and that one is
Okay.
going to be at In Balance Wellness Spa in Lansdale, where we're bringing
Oh, nice.
mental health
Okay.
professionals so the community can again get to see face to face if they're looking for therapy, who's out
Yeah,
there, who's local. It's all about connecting the providers and connecting the providers
yeah.
with the community to make, therapy feel more accessible, a little bit less intimidating, and, really, but again, collaborating with other
So that's
people.
going to be very, if you're listening now and you're even thinking about therapy or you need therapy for yourself or for your family, this is an amazing opportunity, the open house or this event that you're hosting.
Mhm.
I love that you're doing that. That's going to be great. Some
Yes.
amazing celebrations.
Thank you.
Yes, you have a lot coming up.
I do. I do. I feel like I always do. And it's constantly growing and expanding, right? But I think, as
Mhm.
you know, as an entrepreneur, we have all the ideas. And then it's,
Oh,
trying to
absolutely.
pick which one to focus on at a time. It can be
Oh,
difficult and
yeah.
also so fun and exciting to do at the same time.
Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that with us. And then, so I guess that ties into a little bit of the goals for the year, but you've explained a lot of the
Mhm.
celebrations, but are there any other goals that you have for the upcoming year with the business?
Yeah, it's continuing to network, and it's also continuing with my podcast that I
Yes.
co-host with Adrienne, the podcast Real Parenting for Sensitive Moms. So continuing
Yes.
to meet new people, have new
Mhm.
providers come on, and kind of expanding the community and even our clients' knowledge of what it's like to be a highly sensitive woman, highly sensitive mom, and
Mhm.
also maybe parenting a highly sensitive kiddo. Adrian and I
Yes.
are able to provide that education, have different people come on that work specifically with the population. Hopefully, by the end of the year, I'm able to hire 1 or 2 other therapists to continue to grow, continue to be able to
Yeah.
have space to offer, clients therapy and that
Yeah.
space for women.
A lot of amazing things. If you haven't checked out the podcast, we are going to link it
Oh, great.
in this interview. So we'll make sure that people can check that out. I love that you guys offer that as well. I would love if you'd be able to share some advice to either a small business owner that's just getting started, or maybe even a seasoned entrepreneur that is feeling a little bit stuck and they're ready to maybe make some changes in their business. What would that advice be from you?
Yeah, putting yourself into different spaces, putting yourself into different
Hmm.
networking groups, because not all networking groups are the same. Some are completely different. And I would say
Yeah.
keep trying because you do need that support
Yes.
around you. And without that support, I know I would not have continued
Yeah.
even within 4 years because entrepreneurship can be very challenging. Finding that support, I would say, is number one. Reach out one on one. That's how I started.
Yeah.
I literally went to Psychology Today,
Great.
found out the therapists that were closest to me, emailed them, and
That's
nobody
so
has
smart.
said no. Nobody said no, right?
Yeah.
So
You took the
it's
chance.
just taking that chance, taking that step,
Yep.
and it can be very, very, very scary. But that's why you can do, as I
Yes.
tell all my clients, teeny tiny steps. So try one on one. Go to a networking event with a buddy.
Yeah, because then you
Hmm.
don't feel like you're stepping into a room that's, I mean, I've stepped into the rooms and I've felt so nervous and scared, but it makes things
Yeah.
so much nicer when you know somebody that's in that room with you. I think that's
Yes.
great advice to just like take the step, right? Like just go in the
Hmm.
room and you will find your people. I've could not agree with you more. That's amazing advice. Also, I wanted you, Leah, if you could tell us where Rising Sun Therapy is and maybe some
Yep.
places that anyone who is watching could find you to learn more about you.
Absolutely. So Rising Sun Therapy is located in Harleysville, Pennsylvania, and we're able to provide therapy all over Pennsylvania. But in
Okay.
person, and our workshops are usually in person in Harleysville. So
Okay.
all the information is on risingsuntherapy.com. There's
Perfect.
also the Instagram is under my name, Leah Andreoni, and Facebook is under
Okay.
Rising Sun Therapy. But pretty much everything, I try to keep the website up to date, all the workshops, who has openings, how
Awesome.
to get there, all the information is right there.
Easy is great for anyone. So if you're watching and
Yes,
listening and you're thinking that you need a little bit of extra support, definitely be sure to check out that website and the social media. We will be linking everything below. So, Leah, I just want to
wonderful.
thank you so much for joining us today at Level Up Loud Branding Company and sharing your story on Rising Sun Therapy. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining us. This has been wonderful.
Thank you so much. I love talking to you, so I
Oh,
really
same.
appreciate, being able to come on and talk about
Absolutely.
Rising Sun. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, we're starting
Thanks, Leah.
up
Have a great day.
something. We're
Oh,
starting
you
up
too. Bye.
something.
Bye.
Oh.